All right, hi everybody. It is 2:40 or 11:40, depending on, or somewhere in between, depending on what time zone you're in, or after, or earlier. It could be any time. Anyway, it's time to restart is the point. So we have one, possibly two more short talks, and then we're going to discuss all the things that have been percolating in the Slido. There's lots of good questions that we're gonna, for discussion that we're gonna have. Should we have Alec present, Barbara?
Yeah, I have not heard, is Thomas Chen around? I haven't heard from, it looked like a very interesting talk, but I guess hopefully but I haven't seen anything. So I think that means Alec goes now. And Alec's gonna show his own presentation. So.
All right, good to be with you all. Can you all hear me?
Yep.
Great,
yep.
Thank you. Okay, so sprints, or sorry, Panhelio, marketing. So Panhelio for PUNCH, an ecosystem for streamlining heliophysics science. So here are the key takeaways. What? An ecosystem for collaborative and repeatable heliophysics data processes, science, and forecasting. Why? Bring state-of-the-art data access and analysis to state-of-the-art heliophysics missions to streamline the science. And how do you do this? So APIs, databasing, widgets, dashboards, a collaborative ecosystem supported by the technologies listed on the right. Jupyter Hub, Python APIs, Timescale, which is a time series database, SQL databases. And then you also have external catalogs and files that can support a variety of metadata. If you're working in a Python ecosystem, such as Jupyter Hub, you can do data fusion. Python's leading the way with machine learning processes and models, so you can explore, develop, and validate and deploy all in one ecosystem. So if I want to create a dashboard for Punch, for instance, and I want to work with that stuff, I want to translate those FITS files into a ZAR format, or into NetCDF, so they work with X-ray and Dask perfectly. And then I can analyze terabytes and terabytes of that data seamlessly. And more importantly, I can fuse it with other heliophysics data sets. And I think for missions such as PUNCH, that sort of data fusion process is pretty critical. And this is what Panhelio is trying to get at. And then this community has been blowing up, especially in the past 5 years in terms of libraries, SunPy leading the way, but then you have others, PySat, Komodo, SpacePy, PlasmaPy, and other APIs that can really make this ecosystem fully fleshed out and an ecosystem for the community. And then, of course, being GovCloud or AWS cloud hosted. So those are the key takeaways I want to show you all today. And so as PUNCH's science goal is to unify the solar and corona in heliosphere, Panhelio's goal is to unify and streamline interdisciplinary data and science workflows across heliophysics. So it wouldn't be complete if I didn't show you guys an architecture, so bear with me, please. So on the left, you have your data ingest. So basically any data that pertains to heliophysics. So you can have anything coming from ops data from NOAA, SWPC, NESDIS, model data from CCMC. You can have the VSO, HEC, SHARPS, more the metadata flavors. And then shifting over into the right, you can have an operational ingest. And then you'll see I have PUNCH there sort of as a hosted data set potentially, just thinking, I guess, inside the blue box here in terms of what you would want. You kind of want that data ready to be accessed. You don't want users to necessarily go out and download the data. If I'm working with my team across the world and we're working to analyze PUNCH data, and we each need, our own terabytes or gigabytes of PUNCH data mixed with VSO, DKIST, data out there, ideally you want to bring the users to the data. This is how you do big data science. This is the future of how you streamline things. So it's just an example there. That's where PUNCH lives in this. And then you have your API adapters and your data translators. You have SunPy APIs, Lattice APIs, PySat APIs, and things like that that can couple into this larger system. I'm going to give Craig 50 gigabytes on his local data cache on the cloud there. And so he can download that data and that'll be his quota, and then up it as he wishes. And then all of that stuff links into a Python API. And on the right there, that's sort of your Jupyter hub right there, supporting Python and R. And you can go in there and you can create your sort of Python notebooks that fuse the data. You can do your stream, you can do your flow analysis up there. The whole flow team can get up on this Jupyter hub and have their canned data set ready to go, ready to analyze and see which flow algorithms are working the best. And then if you're really looking to put out something like a dashboard that you want users to go out and say, hey, come look at the punch data, you can serve it up via Bokeh, via a panel server and things like that. And I'll show you a demo of that in a moment here. And then of course on the top, you'd be missing out if you were unaware of all of these awesome libraries that are in the field of heliophysics and space physics. So some of them are listed there. It's not exhausted at all. And then more towards the right, you have more of your state-of-the-art big data type of libraries, such as Pandas, X-Ray, Dask, GeoViews, Bokeh. Let's see. And then the code repository directly from Jupyter Hub, you can do your pull requests and all of that in your code, and so you're all up to date. And so the idea is, if you're working a project, this is all you need. And then it can go to operators, forecasts, scientists, STEM, can be used for RU programs and things like that, made to be extensible. All right, so what did we do with PanHelio? So this here is a time series tool using panel and bokeh. We have all the data from 1985 through present for X-rays, protons, electrons, and the solar wind, 1997 and onwards. And so if I can just blow it up more on the right, it's not that important, but just to fill the screen here. And you can see some of these events are highlighted in blue. That denotes the start and end times of these events, whether they're automatically detected by some algorithm or a person comes in and say, yep, I agree with Alec, or I don't agree with Alec that this is the start and end time of this event. And so you can directly edit that into the catalog. And so everything is version controlled. You can do that via the tables. But I'm in Barbara kindly put me in the solar wind stuff. So I have one little dashboard to show you. You notice that the CME or the shock in the CME sheath here is highlighted in light blue in the ACE plot, time series plot down there. And if we go down there, you can make anything you want with these types of data science tools to visualize them. And so here, this event here, along with its shock, is being visualized along its BY and BZ coordinates. And you can see that there's definitely some structure helicity as it passes by the L1 point. And so again, the point of this is just to say, you can create anything and deploy it as a tool for scientists or for people that just want to download the data. And so they can download the catalogs, or they can download a start and end time from a particular time or wavelength that they want to, or ideally they actually analyze it where the data is located and don't have to download it. So they can actually apply those algorithms local to the data and not have to do the time of downloading, waiting for the data. And also my teammates, you know, ideally we're working in the same ecosystem of Python. And so you don't need to worry about the libraries that I have that you don't have. You don't have to spend hours setting up your ecosystem or your development libraries. It's all sitting there ready to go for you. And that's the idea there. So I'd be remiss not to show some solar imagery stuff. So here's what we're working on. Unfortunately, not too far along, but X-ray and Dask. Again, great tool to use along the way. So this is some SUVI data. We're working actually to make a bit of a dashboard here. Dan, as soon as it's ready, I'll make sure to share it with you to show you what we're cooking up. But on the more advanced side, we spent quite a bit of time working with the Earth Sciences. And here you can see some satellite imagery. And this was about, I don't know, 3 terabytes of data or so, and you could stream through it seamlessly. So this is CONUS right here. I selected this region, and we're looking at MODIS and Aquaterra data. And so you see some subplots here around the Texas area. And then you can see a scatter plot down on the bottom right there. And so again, whatever tools you need to do analysis for your data, you can do that pretty readily using Pan-Helio or just the Jupyter ecosystem itself. So that was a lot, but I wanted to get through it really quickly to allow for some discussion. But this is what Pan-Helio is about, streamlining science. So thank you.
Thanks, Alec. So let's do one last call for Thomas Chen. Otherwise, I think we'll go straight to our discussion.
Thomas is not currently in the session.
Yeah, okay. So let's just have our discussion.